basically, you know, the gameplay is what it is, but you know, a lot of people point out that the VO is a little quirky. That was intentional, you know.
Yeah.
The original titles were made in Japan. We didn't want to try to sort of imitate them, but we wanted to make sure we sort of had that same level of B-movie style, you know, dialogue and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, like cheesy, like something.
Yeah, over the top,
Yeah.
like a big action movie, you know, like a Michael Bay movie on steroids. If that's possible.
So this title specifically being done for the last time?
Yeah, so this is Vicious Cycle down in North Carolina is doing this one.
Who are they known for?
They did Robotech games back in 2001.
Robotech.
Yeah, they did 2 Robotech games. They did Eat Lad, Matt Hazard, Bloodbath and Beyond. What else? Did one of the Ben 10 games and stuff like that, you know. I think mostly, you know, the sort of the style of the quirkiness and the humor and stuff is probably closest to Eat Lad. Get out of here before that blows up. Alright.
So is the entire environment destructible, or?
Yeah, basically, I mean, everything except the ground, pretty much everything could be blown up. I mean, even these Jersey walls, you know, you got the right kind of missile or rocket, you can take them out. Buildings typically come down with like 1, maybe 2 shots max. And the whole point of the game is that just go around and have tons of fun. You know, it's kind of like ironic that you're trying to save the city, but it's like at all costs, you know? You just got to do whatever you can, man. It doesn't matter. You know, the city's been evacuated. You don't care. You got to get these ants out of New Detroit. So, yeah, realistically, I mean, it's, you know, just like I said, super distilled gameplay. There's always tons of enemies on screen. We have things coming at you from all angles this time. With 2017, it was, you know, a lot of the focus was you walk down the street and there's guys coming down the street. This time, now that we have 3-player co-op online, we try to make everything come at you from all angles. So that way you have to sort of use teamwork, cooperate with each other to sort of be able to take on the threats a little more tactically.
Question, why did you choose 3-player co-op?
3-player, you know, it felt good. We tried 4-player. With 4-player, we had to tone the number of enemies down, and we didn't like that. We liked keeping it where it was. We wanted to have it so it was always, you know, that people could just jump into your game. So we want to make sure that it was seamless going between regular and online. So if you jump in an online game and there's no one there, or your buddy's just not home yet or whatever, you can jump into the middle of the level halfway through. So you know, we wanted to make it seamless that way. So yeah, you know, 4 players, it just started to feel more like we were trying to force our agenda than make it EDF. And you know, we have a lot of rabid fans and a lot of people that just, you know, they love this series, they know what it is, and we're not fooling them.
How long has the series been running?
This is the 4th one. I think the first one was done in 2002 or 2001. So EDF was on PS2. EDF 2 was also on PS2 in Japan only. And then EDF 3 in Japan was 360 launch time.
2017?
Yeah, 2017. We brought it over here in America's 2017. And that was the first one here in the States. Now this is the second one in the States.
I heard some news come out of Japan not too long ago. I didn't really read into it too much, but they basically announced like a slew of new Earth Defense Force titles. They had like Earth Defense Force 2 for PSP and Earth Defense Force 4.
Right, so
now,
they just...
got me a bit confused. Now, is this 4 or...
No, this is actually it's like Armageddon. Yeah, I mean, not really a spin-off. It's the same
yeah, I mean,
thing. It takes place in a different area. We're doing a contest back there, so it's not a spin-off, and it is one of the ones that was mentioned in Japan. They announced it's set to Armageddon in Japan as well. They're also releasing EDF Mobile. They're doing EDF 2. I think it's called Legends on PSP. They have like 4 EDF titles that they announced kind of all at the same time.
So EDF 4 is completely separate.
EDF 4 is they've only announced the title. There's no other information out about it. No.
So you can tell us whether it's online.
It's we don't know anything about it except that there is a game being developed somewhere called EDF 4.
And that one's being developed in Japan, though.
Yeah, Yeah, to our knowledge, yeah.
What were those robot things walking around?
So that's a Hector. We have, you know, the Hector robots from 2017. 2017, they were a little different. We tried to vary them up a little bit. So we have big Hectors and small Hectors. What you just saw was a small one. They're a little faster, a little more agile.
That one was a small one?
That's a small one, yeah. So when you get into the later levels, you'll see large Hectors, what we call stage 2s. And stage 2 Hectors are like, I think 4 times the size of those. They're huge, just tower over everything. They come in, just knock buildings down with their fists, just step on everything. Just, you know, it's kind of just trying to make everything sort of awe-inspiring. Another cool enemy we did this time around, they just blew them up. Those little tiny spiders called tick spiders. I say tiny, but they're the size of like a Shar-Pei, you know? But basically they'll jump on your back. You don't get them off in time, they explode, do a little bit of damage. They'll sort of change up the gameplay. Your buddies can shoot them off of you. You know, try to make everything feel a little different. Add some more mechanics, do some stuff a little differently than 2017.
Now, how long is the game? Like the whole single player?
Well,
how long are you aiming for?
Well, if you were to just play through start to finish, first time through it's about 8 hours.
8 hours?
That's with one armor type. We have 4 armor types. If you want to max them out, get all 8 levels, you're talking probably 160 hours or so. So each armor type has 8 different levels. You know, depending. We asked the QA guys to check in, but realistically, those guys are so fast. It's not realistic. They say, you know, it's 100+ hours to max the armors out. It's probably longer than that for most people. But I mean, a single-player campaign, our mission is about 15 to 20 minutes. You got 5 of those per campaign, and you have 3 campaigns. So we actually tried to sort of look at, you know, the way people really like Left 4 Dead, and the way that works in the sense that, you know, it's a heavily co-op focused game, and you're sort of, you know, you're replaying levels over and over, trying to find how to do it fastest, the best way, get the highest score, compete for highest score. So it's a little more along those lines. It's not meant to be, hey, you play a level and you're done with it. You go back and play it a few times, it's still just as much fun. You discover things every time.
Do you work directly at Cycle?
I work at the publisher, D3 Publisher. I'm the senior producer, so basically in charge of the game for the publishing.
What titles have you personally
I've worked on Eat Lead. I worked on EDF 2017. I worked on Matt Hazard, Bloodbath and Beyond. I did a few more at D3 Publisher, mostly like kids titles and stuff like that too. But yeah, you know, a whole slew of stuff.
Now, like, out of all the titles you've worked on, like, how would you compare EDF to, like...
It's definitely the most fun game I've ever worked on. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm demoing this game.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I mean, look at it. It's insane. It's a game that I want to play, you know. It's something that, you know, I sit down and I go, oh, I got to check this level and see if the counters are set up right or whatever. And I end up playing the entire level and then going into 3 more levels before I realize, oh crap, I gotta stop and take notes, you know? So, you know, things like that. I mean, it's a ton of fun. It's just, you know, when you can tell the guys, hey, you know, it's not blowing up big enough, or, hey, you know, we need, instead of 5 rockets, you need 10. You know, when you can say stuff like that and be totally serious about it, that's a fun game to work on.
Yeah.
We actually had a run-in with EDF 2017.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so we know how fun the game is. We wound up like renting it one night. We played at a friend's house. We spent like 6 hours playing the game.
It's addictive.
So what's the arsenal in this game?
300+ weapons.
How's that? Was that customizable? Or?
The weapons themselves, you're locked in with the weapons when you buy them. You can purchase weapons. We also got a lot of fan talk about the weapon system. They said, hey, we don't want you guys to drop the weapon drops. We don't want you to get rid of that. So we went back and added it so that when you defeat elite enemies like that Hector, they'll drop custom weapons that you can only get from certain enemies.
So at first you guys didn't have that feature in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
board searching and just put questions out to people and try to listen to them. We actually cut split screen from this version early on because it just it wasn't working out as well as we had hoped. We got a lot of pushback from the fans in 2017. Went back, researched it, figured some things out, and added it back in. So now you can play every mode in split screen or single player or online.
Yeah. I really respect when the developer, you know, listens to the fans.
Yeah, we
Cyberpunk's doing a little things too.
yeah.
You guys are doing this
Yeah, we got a Vicious Cycle, really good developer that loved fan feedback, and I mean they take their games very seriously, you know, and you know I think when they saw that people were sort of outraged, they say, you know what, we got to do this. People are driving up and down. They said, we got to take the time to do this. So we did it. We took a little extra time.
Definitely an amazing thing when the developers listen, definitely. I mean, if you think when the fans really make the game, I mean, at the end of the day, it's they who decide who sells it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. If you don't listen to them, if you're not impressed with it, you're not going to do what you set out to do, which, as a publisher, it's sell games. As a developer, it's make awesome games. So, sometimes you got to just listen to what people say and take their word for it.
Is there a specific reason you guys are playing the 360 version?
No particular reason. We have more 360 kits at the office, so it's easier to bring them out into PAX. That's about it. Yeah, no, we're in Los Angeles. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's right on 360 and PS3 as well.